I'm Phil Heath, 7-time Mr. Olympia. I won 7 straight years at the Mr. Olympia contest from 2011 through 2017. I was just dubbed as Bodybuilder of the Decade by Muscular Development. I've traveled over 2 million miles representing the sport of bodybuilding, and this is now my 5th time in India, 3rd time in Mumbai. So I'm really excited to be a part of this event. As far as motivation, things that get me motivated and keep me there is learning what the process is of how to become successful. So having very small goals, being able to achieve those goals, and then start to study how efficient I was at that. So everything to me is very requires repetition, literally, right? So every meal has to be, perfect. Focusing on every repetition for, lifting weights has to be perfect, and understanding those processes. So then when I would win the Mr. Olympia, I would always think to myself, how could I do this better? And it was always not thinking about the competition, but thinking, how can I challenge myself to get the highest score I can get? So every year I would, remind myself that I can always be better. I can always be smarter, and I can always have that willingness to, that mental fortitude that is required to become victorious, and always know that there's someone that wants to take your job. Someone wants to replace you. So I had a ton of motivation, obviously.
What should be the plan or strategy for bodybuilding?
I think having a year plan or a 5-year plan, 10-year, 20-year plan, those are great goals to have, but it does require weekly, if not monthly, check-in dates to make sure that you have a strategy, a system, and a protocol that you follow to make sure you achieve those goals in the end. A lot of people, like in bodybuilding, they say, oh, I want to gain 10 to 20 pounds in 1 year. And it's like, okay, well, you want to do that, but where's your strategy behind it? Every day that you can break down that, let's say after your 2nd or 3rd month, you can look at your progress and chart that and say, okay, well, maybe I could have done this a little bit better. Maybe I didn't follow my food diary like I was supposed to. Maybe life came into play where I couldn't go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. Maybe I was going out too much with my friends, and I could tell on my credit card statement that I spent a lot of money going out when I could have been studying for an exam or working hard in the gym. So having those smaller goals in conjunction with the larger goals is essentially big. I mean, you can always use an old school saying where you would take like a construction worker that would build brick walls. Well, of course you know what the wall is supposed to look like, but you have to focus on every brick to be perfect. And if you just focus on every brick, then next thing you know, you look around and you're done. So, and you did it correctly. So it's always those little things, especially in sports, that make you be better.
What should be the motivation for young people to pursue bodybuilding?
I think sometimes people become very entitled and think that it's just going to happen overnight. Anytime where something is very challenging, you have to think of the reward that is basically on the other side of that adversity. Everything that we've been through, we've all had some type of negative thing happen to us, but the times that we let it defeat us, gosh, that becomes very repetitive. You end up being a victim. But there's those times where you did go through some type of adversity, some type of challenge that you met head on, and although it may hurt, you got better. So I think of life like that. Like you should not want the easiest life, because then you'll die one day not really experiencing anything. Sometimes you have to be able to appreciate the sun by seeing the rain and the storm. So it's like one of the things I tell people, especially young people in the gym, if I were to ask an 18-year-old, like you're saying, hey, would you like to train chest with me? They say yes. Would you like to train arms with me? They say, of course. If I say, hey, you want to train legs with me? They may not want to. Then why is that? Maybe because of the fear. But it's fear. They put their mind already made them think that this is something that is challenging, and I'm not too sure if I'm willing to meet that challenge. Well, to me, that says that's something I should work on, because that is clearly a weakness in my brain. So that goes on with life. There's things that we find very easy. Maybe we're more talented in certain areas than others, but you should practice having a positive mindset and ask yourself, why am I freaking out because of it being leg day? Well, because I don't like it and it's going to hurt. Okay, well, guess what? That pain is going to make you stronger. So if you have small legs and you're afraid to train, you're going to always have small legs. But I guarantee you, if you train the legs harder, you'll probably have that more exponential growth, and you'll look and you say, wow, that's encouraging. So when those people have those moments, the 18-year-old kids have those moments where they actually meet the challenge head on and they start seeing little results here and there, that should remind them, this works. And how can I make this psychologically better for myself so I don't dread this? Yes, this is so powerful that mind, body, spirit is what you have to become a better version of self, especially with lifting weights. You have to be a strong-minded person. And a lot of people deal with insecurities. I understand, I'm one of them, but we all started the same. Some better, some had a little bit more head start, but their life has nothing to do with yours. You get to write your own life. So I always tell people, like, if you're negative, you're gonna have negative result. If you go in there with the right positive attitude, but if you can learn to have positive attitude during hardship, during adversity, it's gonna be pretty awesome. I think it's gonna be, you're gonna really appreciate this life that you live.
What should be the takeaway from Fitness Expo like this?
People should come. I mean, first of all, the reason why I came is because I knew that there was a lot of fans. Because of social media, I get a lot of message requests from people from India. So when I told them that I was coming here, they were all very much excited. Being here, I was not let down at all. There are so many passionately present fans that I get to now take that back to America and tell all my friends and my fans there, you have no idea how incredible India is. Clear across the world, but they are so passionate about the sport. I definitely think for anyone that is watching this going into tomorrow, if they are not here tomorrow, shame on them, because there's so much motivation here. Not just from me, but everyone in here. It's just about energy. You see all of the equipment sponsors. You see everything. And everybody is just so excited to feel something positive. So if you want to feel something positive, you want to learn something new about health and wellness, you want to learn about diet, nutrition, training, if you want to learn about competing, you come here and you watch it and you become more motivated and inspired to go back home and then apply it. Hi, this is Phil Heath, 7-time Mr. Olympia, and I want you to subscribe to Real Life Fitness.